Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience Podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions. So that's what I'm talking about. Is my grandfather poured into me, and there were other people in my life that have done that too, where they saw me going this way and I should have gone that way. Oh, I lost you. I lost you for a second. Oh, there you are. So I was going this way, and they got a hold of me and said, "Hey, go this way." Right? My whole life is that way. And so every time I come across somebody who needs that, I try to pour into them too, right? To pay it forward and to honor those people that came ahead of us that were kind enough to mentor us, you know?
Right.
I love your story, and I bless your heart. I am so excited for you and so excited about what your kids are doing. So for just a second, let me ask you a couple of questions
Sure.
about growing up. So growing up, who's the most influential person to you?
My mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
She,
far, it sounds like.
she's, I again love my dad. He's a jokester, and he was a great guy and he worked hard.
Yeah.
But it was my mother's drive that got us through, you
Yeah.
know. So, and she just never stopped. Nothing could stop her. And I think that's what I took from her. And she
Yeah.
just seeing her do that, and maybe not in real estate, right? But it just in anything she did, she with whatever we had, she made things work.
I
And
got you.
I think that's so important. And it didn't get her down. Like she didn't like being broke, dealing with my dad, of all the things, it just didn't stop her. Like she
Yeah.
didn't let that depress her. She didn't let that. I'm not saying she didn't have bad days, but she just didn't. I saw that she just used that, and she's like, how do I make it better? And
Yeah.
it's using that mentality, I think, is what helped me through. She's gone now, but I have to give a lot of credit for, I think, of what happened. I'm has been an easy road. I have some bad days, and it's hard sometimes to wake up in the morning. But I just think of her, and I think of everything that she did, and she wouldn't want me to give up. She never did on me, so why am I going to do that? Not only to myself, but to my family. So
Yeah.
she's definitely my angel up there.
It's amazing that you honor your mom that way. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you she's watching you and smiling. So you started AJX Homes and started flipping, and you've
Correct.
flipped now how many homes? Quite a few, right?
So now we're probably up to about 200 a year at the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're got to be approaching 1,000, right? Or over that.
Yeah, we've already done over 1,000.
Yeah.
We've done over 1,000 flips since 2010. Again, we're in 4 markets. We're in Jacksonville, Tampa, San Antonio, and San Diego.
Yeah.
We're also wholesaling in Tampa and San Diego at the moment, and we're buying rentals. So we have a portfolio of rentals of single family, about 160 of them in Jacksonville, a portfolio in San Diego, a portfolio in San Antonio, and we're still growing that as well. The power of passive income, again, that's what I mentioned. It's quick cash with flipping,
Mhm.
but then it's nice longevity wealth with the rentals. We've also jumped into apartments the last couple of years, and now with between our single family and our apartments, we're over 1,100 doors at the moment,
That's
of
awesome.
all the properties that we have. We just started a fund called Ajax Diversified Real Estate Fund, and it's pretty much we're bringing in investors, and the goal is to start at 20 and get to 100 million of money that we're going to be using to not only buy apartments, to buy these flips, and we're on our way. We're currently raising about $1 million a month, and we're bringing in just people that want to. Again, I feel like it's a way for me to give back too. I'm giving people an opportunity to do this passive income. Not everyone has the time. Not
No, it's
everyone
true.
has. Not everyone, like, as much as they want to, and they can. People literally have money sitting under the mattress or in
Yep.
the bank, not making any money for them. And if I can use that to make them more money, and it's a win-win. I mean, how beautiful is that? I teach that to my kids. I'm not showing off or anything like that. I feel I'm a pretty humble guy, but it's one of those things I teach my kids. I enjoy the drive. I love it. I mean, I wake up sometimes and I'm just excited. Man, what are we going to go do? How
Yeah.
many properties are we going to flip? Are we going to
Right.
find an apartment building today? I mean, that's exciting to me. But what's more exciting is that like we just came back Sunday. We were in El Salvador, me and the kids and my family. We were building 2 houses for 2 needy families that were living on the floor, that were getting wet by the rain. We literally walked away within a couple of days and we turned in the keys to them of a brand new home. They've never slept on a bed in their life.
Wow.
And we gave them a bed, and it's to show where I'm going with this is the importance of when you get to a point, there's only so much money you need in life, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
And now it's about giving back. So
Yeah.
we're giving back, it's called the Global Impact Initiative. I'm a part of it, and we're building houses throughout the different places in the world, to be honest. And we try to go like 3 or 4 times a year and build some houses for people that we've never met, that it's a little piece just helping out, some people that where we can. And to be honest, it is important for me. It's a life-changing event every single time I go. But if you could see my kids' faces, my kids' thoughts that come back from that, they look at their shoes and they see these kids that only have 1 pair of shoes, and they think about, I remember my son a couple years ago, he goes, "Dad, I have about 12 pairs in my closet. I don't need all of them."
Yeah.
And it was just wow, the power of him understanding how lucky we are, how blessed we are, how we don't need as much sometimes as people uh, uh show that we need things. So it's we're giving back that way. And hearing my story, there's another organization that we started giving back to. I actually donated the use of my office here in San Diego. Um, it's called the Innocence Project,
Oh,
and
awesome.
it's they literally use it. It's a way for us to give back, and they're freeing people from prison that are wrongfully in prison. So it's kind of my lifelong dream now. I love making money, but not only just for myself and the family and generational wealth, but it's also to give back.
Yeah.
So for me, giving back to those 2 organizations, it does something to you. It does something to your heart, and I'm excited to grow. Because the more I grow, the more people I can help.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good spot. It's a good place to be. The market goes up and down, right?
Yeah.
I've been through it. I've seen it. It's about learning every time it does, and making you and yourself, your company better, to make sure you're prepared for anything else that comes as in the way.
Make the necessary adjustments, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, the fund that you're starting, I think, is at the perfect time, and I'll tell you why. Alan, Alan Nevin. Alan
Yes.
Nevin, we've interviewed 3 times on this program, and Alan's a good friend of mine. He wrote a book and published it in 2017 called The Great Divide. And in there, he talks about this single largest transfer of wealth that's happening right now between baby boomers and their millennial kids and grandkids.
Right.
There's some $98 trillion, according to the government, being passed right now, right? And what's happening is these millennials don't really want the real estate. They really want the cash. But
Right.
once they get it, they want it to work for them,
Yep.
right? They don't trust real estate necessarily because when they were young, the Great Recession hit and they watched, the people around them that they loved lose their houses.
Right.
But they want that money to work for them. And so when you come along, right, an expert in real estate, you can help them do that with that fund. You can help them take that money and make it work for them. So that's just absolutely brilliant, in my opinion. Let me ask you this. You have AJX Homes, AJX Capital.
Correct.
AJX Homes, what's your single greatest, what do you enjoy the most? What's your most favorite thing about flipping houses?
Believe it or not, it's it. So all of our flips, if you kind of remember my story, when the downturn happened, I was doing high-end homes in San Diego.
Right.
And high-end home back those days were $600,000-$800,000. That's like
Right.
entry level now.
Yeah, now
Right?
it's entry level. Yeah.
But back in then, I quickly noticed the first properties to go were the high-end ones. And why? And it was a rude awakening of, those are buyers for those properties are usually buyers that don't need to buy a home.
Yeah.
It's usually their second home. They want to move up and they don't need to. So it's a very different mind frame. And so what I told myself, I promised myself and I promised my investors, I am not going to do any high-end homes. That's not my game. I'm not doing $1 million homes. I'm not doing properties on the beach. I am doing homes that are entry-level pockets in the markets that I'm in. And why? Because you have more buyers in there. Those are people that maybe number one, they just came into San Diego. They just got married. They have a kid. They're moving out of their apartment. It's their first home. And where I'm going with this is, I have seen the smiles on these people's faces. I remember buying my first home and I remember that feeling. And to give a property that is clean, it's not a new home, right? We're
Yeah.
flipping houses. We're flipping a 1960s home. We
Yeah.
can't give them a new home. But what I can do is go in there and inspect and make sure health and safety and put in new flooring, new kitchens, and have them walk in with a smile on their face.
Hmm.
They don't even care about the color. They're like, we got approved
Yeah.
for this loan,
Yeah.
and this is our house. So for me, that has been my biggest win on the single family, to see that now doing single family rentals, to not be a slumlord, right? To go
Yeah.
in there and care about how people are living. I think it's so important, and it reciprocates, right? I could see them happy. I could see them paying their rent on time. They
Yeah.
appreciate that we go and they need something fixed. No problem.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the way it should be. I mean, I'm still making money on this, so it's not trying to nickel and dime and at someone else's expense. So it's just nice to see the family smiles, the kids, the families, everyone happy on that.
So I saw a post on LinkedIn where you were in Cleveland, Ohio, working on like a 20-unit apartment building.
Yes.
So is that AJX Capital?
So it's technically, well, we have a couple companies. It's AJX
Okay.
Holdings. AJX Holdings is kind of the company that holds all these apartment buildings, and then we have AJX Capital, which is raising the money, raising the fund. It kind of oversees it, but usually it's AJX Capital that's helping fund the deals for AJX Holdings.
Gotcha.
That particular property, we did end up backing out. At the minute, there was some confusion between some past liens on there from the city, and that we just couldn't get it done, so we didn't end up picking that one up. And I think that's so important, right? It's due diligence. You got to do the due diligence
Yeah.
and not have these surprises. Just because the numbers look good on the top doesn't mean it is, right? Learning lessons for me of due diligence in life, not only in my attorneys and people and everything. It's due diligence in everything you do. There's always a saying, right? You trust people. I'm a very trusting person,
Yeah.
and sadly, my trusting has gotten me in trouble, right?
Yeah.
It's put me in a bad spot. But a good mentor of mine just said, "Man, Jesse, trust is good. That's not bad for you to do, but you got to verify.
Yeah.
You trust but verify,
Yeah.
and it's a verification. And the verification is due diligence on people, due diligence on the businesses, due diligence on anything you do on the property. You have to do due diligence, and I think that's one of the biggest things I've taught my kids is that you can't. It's not bad to trust people. It's just you have to do your homework behind it, because it's not fair not only to you, but if you have investors, if you have people behind you, you have to do that. So
Yeah. No, I totally agree. So what's your single favorite thing about AJX Capital?
I think it's getting these investors that had no clue that they can even invest even their 401ks, change their 401ks, the old 401ks that are just sitting there not making money, to self-directed IRAs.
Mhm.
And literally where they come to me and they said, wow, Jess, I didn't even know we can do this.
Yeah.
I just thought I had to leave it there. And now I'm making quadruple their, sometimes quadruple. I have some clients that just quadruple of interest that they were making just sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's mind boggling to me, right? We live in this, we know it, but we forget that not everyone knows what we know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of educating them. So with AJX Capital, to have that opportunity to show these people, hey, you're whether they invest with me or not, I'm okay with it. I always tell people, just do your homework. Make
Yeah.
sure it's a good operator, because that operator can mean you losing your money.
Yeah.
So it's just, I tell them, ask me a million questions. I don't want you to invest with me until you ask me a million questions and you feel 100% sure,
Right.
you feel good about what we're doing, you understand it, and then invest with me.
Yeah.
And I love to see them when I get those thank yous, or we give them their money back. And maybe sometimes people put on a quick flip, or and they get it back. They're like, Jesse, what's next?
Yeah.
And I could see them excited, like, man, I just made that money. Thank you. I didn't have to lift a finger. I
Yeah.
trusted you. You kind of, you gave us communication throughout the way. And to show people that they how to make money on their money that they didn't know was ever even available or out there. That's a win, for me. And it's just it's exciting to see. Like I said, we're raising about $1 million a month right now, and it's just amazing to see. I'm getting to meet new people, and even some big players where it's crazy how people have amassed good wealth, they don't even know sometimes. They
Yeah.
really don't. They don't even know what to do with the money. They didn't even know it was an option. And it's just it's so nice to see that I'm helping them. Sometimes people are using it to pay their mortgage. These people are using it to pay their medical bills. It's nice to see that their money's making, money for themselves, and
Yeah.
it's just a priceless situation.
It's cool, man. I'm so excited for you. So real quick, talk about Kids That Flip. Do we know what channel it's going to be on? Do we
Yeah.
know any of those details yet?
So we don't. So Warner Brothers. So we had offers from Sony. We had offers from Netflix. We ended up choosing the Warner Brothers. And Warner Brothers, if you know, is they own several
Yeah.
channels. So they
Yeah.
haven't said yet where they plan on putting it.
Okay.
They're talking about giving us a time slot, which is actually a little more powerful.
Yeah.
They're thinking I'm jumping the gun here. They talked about Saturday mornings,
Yeah.
right? But we don't know yet. But we know it's once it's done, it's edited and everything. They make those decisions on which
Yeah.
channel it's actually going to come out on. But it's kidswhoflip.com. If you go there, you can follow me. I'm going to be putting about it. I'll let everyone know, you know, um, when it's coming out. But it's super exciting, and you hit the nail on the head when what you said about the power of that show. My daughter more, she's 16, she's a teenager, and she said, "Dad, I don't want to do it. Like, that's not me. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not trying to be. I'm not looking for that to be a YouTuber and things like that." And 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 I said, that's exactly why you should be on it,
Yeah.
And I said, imagine you going on there, you and your brother. Number one, the memories and just the opportunity of it. But two, what if by you going on there, a young adult watches this, or an adult,
Just
and
one. Just
yeah,
one.
and it makes them go, man, I should try this. I know I've always
Yeah.
been scared of taking that jump. Let me do it the right way, doing my
Yeah.
homework on it, and pushing themselves to do something they've always wanted. And if you can help that one person, it's worth it. I
Yeah.
told her that, and she looked at me, she smiled, and she says, "All right, Dad, I'll do it."
Yeah.
So they're excited about it. Now they have fun with it. I mean, they know the other kids that are on the show. They all like get together. They laugh way too much. They have too much of a blast. But
Mhm.
it's so fun to watch that these kids, 15, 16 years old, are like there, and they're talking about these projects that they're doing. I mean, it was so awesome. We finished the flip within a week. We already had a cash offer on it.
Wow.
So it's amazing. And I looked at them. What do you guys think? And they said, "Let's go get another."
Yeah.
That was their answer to me.
Can I
Of
ask you a question?
course.
How proud are you?
Uh,
I mean,
um,
you've got to just be busting at the seams.
I was sworn to secrecy by my daughter to not tell anyone about the show until it actually comes out.
Yeah.
But I can't hold it sometimes, and
No,
I can tell
exactly.
you, inside, I'm probably one of the proudest dads out there. I mean,
Yeah.
just to see their growth, their understanding. I mean, they didn't remember me going away. They thought I was a firefighter. It
Yeah.
wasn't until a couple years ago that I finally told them the truth. And they just looked at me and they told me, "Dad, we're sorry to hear that. We actually didn't know." And they said, "But you're still our dad.
Yeah.
We love you," and to have them see what we've gone through as a family, and to pick ourselves up, and to see them following that same route, and to see them wanting to go give back. Like, my daughter's talking about taking a year off after high school to go build houses. And I said, wait, hold on. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. But, are we doing the business? Are we not? Like, I would love her to get a business degree if she can.
Yeah.
If she doesn't want to do anything else, get a business degree, because it's just good to have.
Yeah.
Running a business is so important. It's how many businesses go out of, fail in the first year.
Yeah.
It's knowing about business, and it's just everything you got to treat like a business to really understand it. If you go into, even real estate, right?
Mhm.
It's a business. It's not just a hobby, because it's a lot of money behind it. So
Yeah.
I am proud. I'm prouder than I can be. I feel like I've checked the box
Yeah.
in my life to say, man, I who would have thought this crazy guy, actually can say, like, man, I feel good about being a dad. Who teaches us to be a dad? You're just put in
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and there's no book, there's no nothing. And it's nice to see that these my kids are definitely following something well, and I feel they're going to give back to the world. In
I'm proud of him. I haven't even met him.
Thank you.
I'm certain, and big time proud of you, buddy.
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate it.
and I'm so unbelievably excited for your success. I would love to have you and the kids on
Do it.
and let's promote the show,
Yeah.
and talk about their experience and how it's gone and all that. Certainly we can do it after they finish taping. I know they're busy. But I'd love to have them on, before it starts, just so we can promote it.
Let's do it. I mean, they're a great set of kids. They're
Yeah.
jokesters, and but it's so funny. Like, they joke and then they say something, and I'm like, wow, these guys are like young adults here,
Yeah.
talking super smart, smarter than me sometimes.
Well,
And
the way you're pouring into them, you're getting back what you're investing, right? So, but the return is just amazing, right? When
like,
you invest in your children, when you invest in the future, the return is just astronomical. And I'm just over the moon about what you guys are doing.
yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, God bless you, buddy. Like I said, I'm incredibly proud of you, and I'm proud of the kids. I haven't even met them yet, and I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to our next time together. Thank you so much for being our guest on the Mike Litton Experience. We'll put a link to AJX Homes, AJX Capital, and also to the kidswhoflip.com. We'll
great.
put that in your description on the episode. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I tell people I have a website called investwithjesse.com. If they go there, if they have questions, they want to meet with me, even talk about the show, they can set up a Zoom there and
I'll
just
tell you what, if you'll send me the links to all of your sites, we'll
yeah.
put all of them on the description for you.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome. I
All right,
appreciate it.
buddy. I appreciate you. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
You're awesome. We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.